Okay. Now the video is shown. Judgment is projection of insecurity. People that criticize and judge others are just showing their own insecurities. Judgment says more about the person saying than the one receiving the criticism. Why is it like that? I'm going to break down everything in this video. I received a comment on the video that is about confidence from a guy who mentioned that something in the terms of you wear makeup and you're talking about confidence. So like I'm wearing makeup because I need other people to validate me that I'm pretty. Like I need the makeup to feel pretty. I feel pretty with and without the makeup. But it was interesting to see this comment, and thank you for inspiring me to make this video today. It's gonna be an interesting one. I made some tea for myself because I know that I'm gonna talk a lot. Hello, Dominic. You're here again. I love seeing people. I love recognizing people in the chat. People that are following me on a regular basis. So let me repeat once again. Judgment is a projection of internal insecurities. People are criticizing what they internally struggle with or something that they don't fully understand. And it says more about the person who gives it than the one who receives it. If you are being judged and you get triggered by the criticism that you received, this just means that you still have this insecurity. There is still work to be done. You have to work with yourself to heal your insecurity so that you are not going to get triggered. So whenever you are triggered, this means that you have some form of insecurity. Your ego has been hurt. And what is the ego? The ego are the beliefs that our fake identity holds. And how is this fake identity created? By societal beliefs and by different experiences that have happened in our lives that have integrated these beliefs. So whenever you're triggered, know that there is work to be done. And now it's gonna be a direct attack to the person who left this comment for me. But this is not me attacking you. I just want you to use this as a mirror. I want you to use this to look inside and to try to understand what is it that I triggered in you by saying different things that I mentioned in the video. So the reason why I said that people are judging based on their own insecurities or lack of knowledge is because some people judge because of insecurities. Some people judge because they lack knowledge in the field or area or whatever it is that they're criticizing. And sometimes it can be both of them together. But where does it come from? It comes from lack of awareness, and it's a defense mechanism. It's much easier to criticize others, to put a label on other people, than reflecting on yourself and facing your own insecurities. And let me break down why people judge. What is the thing what kind of reward do they receive from a psychological and neuroscientific perspective when they judge? Let me take a sip and we'll break it down. So if someone is uncomfortable with their self-expression, they will say to others that they are too much. If someone is insecure, they will get triggered by people that are confident or different. Why is it like that? It's because when someone is confident and different and they don't have the courage to be like them, it triggers them. It triggers their ego because they wish that they were in the place of the other person. They wish that they had the confidence that the other person has, but they don't have the courage to take the actions that will lead to them building this confidence and this courage. So whenever they see someone else being more than them or triggering their ego, triggering their insecurities, they think that by criticizing them, by criticizing and putting other people down, they feel more superior and more like in control for their inadequacy in the world or in the things that they're criticizing. So they feel superior, but they don't understand that they just reveal their own insecurities. So they feel superior at this specific moment, but everyone who is at peace with themselves, who does not get triggered, they will just understand, this person is struggling with insecurities. This person is struggling with being seen. This person needs to be seen because they criticize people that are seen. So whenever someone is criticizing something, know that they have some kind of struggle or some kind of insecurity about the thing that they're criticizing. Now, for example, the comment that I received, I'm not sure if it's something that the person is insecure about and he dislikes me because I'm confident and he's not confident. Or it seemed more to me, based on the comment that he made, that it was judgment that was due to lack of understanding. I also call that black-white thinking. It's when you lack nuances to the opinion that you're given. It's like without going in depth. So when you don't go in depth, you lack understanding. Let me give you an example. People that are judgmental, that have this lazy thinking or black-white thinking without going deep and looking from different perspectives and trying to understand what actually is the message, what is actually delivered, they would say people that are blinking are lying. Full stop. So they say all people that are blinking too often, they're lying. Or all people that have any form of speech problem, that they feel anxious. That's why they have speech problem. They don't take in consideration any other factors. They don't think of the possibility of these people having some form of syndrome that makes that they have these mimics or they act in different ways. So as this person judged me that I'm not confident because I'm wearing makeup, this person did not understand the actual point that I was trying to make with my comments in the previous video. So I was talking about appearance and validation, and I was mentioning that many girls, unfortunately, are injecting toxic chemicals in their bodies, like Botox and different plastic surgeries that are full of toxins, with silicones that are full of toxins, because they feel like they are not good enough. They don't accept their bodies as they are. They don't accept themselves as they are. They don't love themselves as they are. That's why they have to make this change to feel better about themselves instead of looking inwards, because you're not going to feel better about yourself by changing anything external. Everything is internal. So I mentioned this not to judge these girls, but to send them a wake-up call, to think twice and to reflect and try to understand what are the insecurities that they have to deal with, not me judging them for putting silicones or for putting Botox or making a facelift. So it's the intention. And I tried to explain shortly to this person. By the way, I almost never explain to judgmental people anything. But when I see that there is a judgment from lack of understanding, I still try to explain. Because if I explain and the person reflects on my explanation, they might understand and they might start shifting their perspective. But when judgment comes from a person who is just insecure, unless I'm close to them so that I can explain and make them aware of their insecurity in a way in a way that they will accept my comment, my feedback, then I will give them a feedback. But if I run into a random person that I don't know, I know that even if I tell them what is going on, they'll not understand. They will just get triggered. The ego will be too big, and they will not accept the information that I'm going to try to deliver. So I told this person that for me, makeup is something that I just like. It's part of my self-care routine. It's something that I can take off in less than a minute. It doesn't cause any kind of harm to my body. And it's just a way of self-expression. So for me, makeup, clothes, even tattoos, this is a type of self-expression. Something that is not going to cause any kind of harm on my body. That is not poisoning me. But I know so many cases of women that got so many health issues due to silicones. And this is the main reason why I wanted to point this out. But this person put in the same bucket makeup with injecting toxic chemicals in your body. So I know that this judgment came just from lack of understanding. So that's why I try to explain. I hope that they're going to understand what I mean by everything that I explained. But if not, maybe it's going to be useful for other people that might be thinking like him, but are more open-minded and are willing to go deeper with their thoughts and reflections to understand what is the whole point. So, as I mentioned before, judgment is a defense mechanism. And the defense mechanism comes with people needing to feel more superior, to feel more important, to feel more in control. Because when they feel like they're more superior and more in control, they feel like they have fake confidence, but this is just fake confidence. They are not confident, they're just loud. And there is difference between the two. There are many people that they think that by them being loud, that they are confident, but they are just screaming about their insecurities. And every single person that is good at reading people, that knows psychology, will be able to identify that. So how do they come to the point of judging? Judgment always comes from people comparing themselves. So if you're a person who compares yourself with other people, I believe that you will have some form of judgment towards other people. Because someone who has worked with their own insecurities, they are good with themselves. They don't need to compare themselves with others because they are comfortable in their skin, in their body. They have accepted themselves as they are. They love themselves. They have respect towards themselves. So there is no need for them to compete with others and to to seek validation. They are just looking and looking inwards, focusing on themselves, and always thinking of how can I improve, how can I become a better version of myself, how can I become, they are comparing themselves with themselves. So I compare myself with myself yesterday, with myself 3 years ago. And whenever I think about something that triggers me, because we all have some form of triggers, whenever I notice that something is triggering me in some form of way, I always reflect and I think of, okay, what is the thing that triggered me? Where should I do work with myself? Where should I go deeper to understand where from my childhood programming came this insecurity that is triggering me? So let me give you an example. I used to, now I always say never judge people. And I don't judge people anymore because I understand where the judgment comes from. I understand everything psychological behind judgment. So I never judge people. But before, I used to judge people that were selling courses online, even though I was buying them. So I was judging them, but I was buying them. I was buying so many courses because I wanted to learn and improve, but I was judging people that were selling courses. Why? I knew deep inside that this was something, I had bad relationship with money because of different beliefs that I had integrated as a kid about money, due to different things that have been happening in my childhood. So the people pleaser in me and the beliefs that I had integrated that I should help people without asking for money, my difficulty to ask what I'm worth because I didn't feel worthy. I didn't have self-worth. I had to work on my self-worth to be able to overcome this blockage that was not allowing me to ask what I was worth for, what I was delivering for. I was not valuing myself. So when I started thinking of why am I judging people that are selling courses, and I'm selling a course now myself. That's why I say never judge people. I learned my lesson. That's why I'm sharing my lesson with you, so that you don't have to, we have to make mistakes ourselves in order to be able to realize, but I hope that by me sharing my example, I might make you aware about something that you're gonna identify in your life. So the fact that I had heart to ask for my worth because I have problem with self-worth, with self-esteem. So I was very confident, but I had problem with self-esteem. Why? Because I had wounds that were created in my childhood due to different experiences. So until I was able to overcome these wounds and to change these beliefs, I didn't have good relationship with money, and I couldn't ask for what I was delivering. And with that, I was not respecting myself. Why? Because I was giving my time, knowledge, energy for free. And whoever gives their time, energy, and knowledge for free without getting value from it is just disrespecting themselves. It's just showing that, hey, you're a people pleaser. You have to work on something, because it's your responsibility to protect your energy. It's your responsibility to know your worth, because if you don't know your worth, if you don't know your value, no one else will know it. You have to know your value yourself first before everyone else recognizes it. Hello, Miguel. Today I have green tea. I'm drinking green tea all the time, and this is something that I started doing after one project that I had at university. It was toxicology, and the project was to find the negative sides of green tea. And it was one of the hardest projects. Like, I couldn't find anything bad in green tea. I just found so many benefits. And we were writing scientific reports. So the only negative thing that I could write about green tea was that you're gonna get a jittering effect from the caffeine if you take 16 cups, more than 16 cups of green tea per day. I know it sounds crazy. Who is gonna have 16 cups of green tea per day? But I had to write something. I had to write some form of conclusion for the project. So that was the conclusion. So once I understood how good it was for my health, even though I didn't like the taste of green tea, I started drinking it on a regular basis. And now I like it. Now your body adapts to everything. Now I feel like if I don't drink green tea, like 1 cup per day, I feel like something is missing. I feel like green tea is like cleaning up my body. So I feel that I have to have at least a cup of green tea every single day. I try to take 1 cup. Sometimes I take 2 cups. But the days when I don't take a cup of tea, I feel like something is missing. So let me just check the time. Okay. I should not miss a flight. I will be flying whole night. So I have to make sure that I'm not gonna get too much in the flow of talking and forget about the time. Yeah, so I mentioned about my judgment. So it's every single time when you judge someone or you judge something, ask yourself, what is the thing that I'm comparing? What is the thing that is triggering me? What is the thing? Because whenever we judge, I can guarantee you 100% that there is an insecurity that that you have, or you lack knowledge in one area. Another example that I can give about judgment that I personally was receiving was about my tattoos. And this is something that people from the corporate world are doing. This was something that I received from a highly educated doctor that expressed herself in a really weird way. But yeah, let's little zoom out. You mean okay. I cannot zoom out more, unfortunately, because the camera will fall down. But I can try to see it a little bit further from the camera. That's something that I can do. So, okay, let me make myself comfortable. Yeah, so back to the judgments. Another judgment that I was receiving was about my tattoos. I consider tattoos as I consider makeup and clothes. Everyone has the right to wear whatever they want and dress however they want and express their personality in the way that they want. So for me, I never judge people that dress differently, that put makeup on differently, or that are putting tattoos. The reason for that is not just because I have a tattoo. It's because for me, it just makes no sense to put a label on a person just because the person has a different expression style than you. So this is again something that shows me these people might not dare to show any kind of difference and they get triggered by me being able to be different than the crowd, be different than the people that I'm surrounding myself with. So, for example, the lady that gave me, the doctor that gave me the comment about the tattoo, she's a very educated person, and she was always praising me about my education. And she said, "Oh my God, I didn't expect that you're gonna put a tattoo. How come you're like bad words?" And I was just looking at her. I didn't get triggered. I was just looking at her because for me, it's like judging another person, saying to someone, spicy is not good. Spicy food is not good. It's up to your taste. It's up to you to choose what you like and what you don't like. I didn't force you to put a tattoo, and you have no rights to tell me whether I should have a tattoo or not. And people are putting labels on others without going deeper, without trying to capture more perspectives and trying to understand why this person is doing something, or why they have dressed in a certain way, or why they have put this tattoo. So this is again going back to the lack of understanding. And also maybe insecurity of not having the courage to be different. In the corporate world, people are trying to compete with each other to climb the ladder, to get better positions, to get better titles, etc., etc. And they fear judgment all the time because they feel insecure about something. So if you're a super confident person, you're not going to care about what people will think about you and if you're going to get the position or not. You know exactly what you are able to deliver. You approach the person. You know exactly what to say to this person. And if this person is a solid person, because I don't want to work with judgmental people. Why? Because I just understand their level of self-awareness, their level of general awareness, and their knowledge about psychology. And if someone doesn't know much about psychology and is judgmental, I don't expect to level up much next to such kind of person. Because if they judge me for my tattoos, they will judge me for other things tomorrow. And judgment comes from limited thinking. Judgment comes from people that are not open-minded. People that are just thinking on a surface level. I have 5 tattoos. Half of my body is tattooed. I can't show them because they're covered at the moment. But I have 5 tattoos and I love them. They're telling very important stories about my life. So all the tattoos that I'm putting are tattoos that have very deep meaning for me. What my actual superpower could potentially be? Which one would make me different just to never fit anywhere? What about curiosity? I mean, childish curiosity. When you're curious, that's good, because this means that you're open-minded. This means that you want to think deeply. Lack of curiosity leads to judgment, surface-level thinking, black-white thinking. But when you are curious, this is a really, really good sign. When a kid is curious, it's a great sign, amazing sign. Because when you are curious, this means that you're open-minded. You are thirsty for information. You want to dig deeper. You want to understand things. And it is a superpower. I met Miguel yesterday, and we were talking about, I was telling him something that is quite controversial to say, because I know that I will get judged about it as well. But I said, I don't feel sorry for poor people because they make themselves poor. And let me explain why. It's not your fault if you are born poor. It's your fault if you die poor. And people that are poor, because I'm coming from a third world country, it's the poorest country in Europe. So I have seen the common characteristics among people that are not doing well financially. And these common characteristics are the following. Most of them are in victimhood mindset and lazy, and they lack curiosity. These are the three characteristics of all people that are poor. And with that, they're judging. They love judgments. They're so judgmental. Their way of thinking is so narrow-minded, and they just love criticizing others. He's a criminal. He's fake. She's scamming. This, that. That's why they're rich. They love to put down others to feel superior themselves and to feel good about their own excuses. But they don't even understand what these people are doing that they're criticizing. So it's a perfect example, actually, specifically about the topic that I'm talking about today. You will see that if you analyze people that are not doing well financially, all of them are very narrow-minded, lazy. They don't have growth mindset. They are all the time thinking about excuses. They're all the time giving excuses. They have this victim mentality. Everything is happening to them. Everyone should feel sorry about them. Everyone should give them money. But this is never going to help them to get out of this financial struggle. People that are curious, they are, let's say, a kid that is poor, that is coming from a poor family. My family was a middle-class family. And I have been analyzing my mom's and my dad's relationship with money. Neither my mom or my dad had a good relationship with money. But it was my curiosity that made me suppress them and do much better financially than my parents. And with that, I'm breaking the circle of them not knowing how to have a good relationship with money, because we have all a relationship with money. We just have to self-reflect and understand what kind of relationship we have. So if I didn't reflect and analyze my parents and to understand what my money beliefs were, I was going to still judge people that are selling courses and that are selling for summarizing and packaging all their experiences, all their knowledge and all the value, and they charge for that. Now, when I analyzed everything, when I reflected on everything and I understood what were the beliefs that made me to judge these people, I changed this belief because I saw that it was a limiting belief. I healed my relationship with money and I have no judgment anymore. I completely understand them. So where was my judgment coming from? It was coming from lack of knowledge. How did I overcome it? I overcame it by becoming curious and analyzing deeply, where did it come from? Where did this judgment come from? What are the things that triggered me to make this point or to criticize people? So when it comes to, for example, when it comes to people that are struggling financially, they always feel like other people should feel sorry about themselves. They think that other people are just lucky. They are born with a talent. They have it easy and things are just handed over to them. Why? Because they're lazy. They're lazy. It's much easier to just be in your comfort zone, drink your alcohol, buy your cigarettes. And by the way, majority of people that are struggling financially are also prone to different addictions like alcoholism, like smoking, drugs, and gambling, porn, everything. So such kind of people are, instead of trying to raise their self-awareness, instead of trying to work with themselves, they are just feeding the needs that were not met through addiction. I talked about this even in the previous live stream where I talked about confidence. All addiction comes from trauma, and the trauma can be resolved only if you become curious to ask yourself questions that will make you aware of what were the beliefs and the situations that put me into this situation, that trapped me to be addicted to something, that made me to crave these substances that are producing something in my body to feel something that was lacking in my childhood. And I'm really glad that there are other people that agree with me. So I'm not a person who's coming from a rich family, and I don't consider myself, people would say that depends like how you look at things. I consider myself rich from inside because I don't need material things to define how rich there is difference between wealthy and rich, and there is difference between feeling rich and being rich. So I'm feeling rich. Why? Because for me, being rich is having the freedom to do what you want, when you want, how you want, to have the freedom to do whatever you want without having any type of fear, without having any type of obstacle. For me, rich is not Lamborghinis and Gucci bags and things like that. But everyone can define that in their own way. I do want to encourage people to define things themselves and what it means truly for them, and not how society is labeling things. Now, when it comes to relationship with money, the money are byproduct of your personal development. This is another thing that I mentioned to Miguel yesterday. This is something that I learned and noticed with my life experience. Because the more that I was working on my personal development, the more that I was working on myself, my focus was not money, but I understood that money is just a byproduct of my personal development. The more that I'm growing, the more that I'm learning, the more that I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, because this is personal development. Personal development is not you just reading books, but actually putting in action the things that you're learning from the books that you're reading, from the podcasts that you're listening to. Because once you start taking action, that's when you get out of the comfort zone. You're not getting out of the comfort zone by reading about something. You're getting out of your comfort zone when you have the courage to take the first step that is uncomfortable, when the brain is scared, when it's unfamiliar for the brain. That's how it all starts. It all starts with action. So something that I've realized is that the more that I'm growing as a person, I don't have to look for money. The money is just coming to me. It's just a byproduct of my growth, my personal growth. Let me see. Yesterday made me realize what freedom really is, and I increased my thirst for freedom and getting more knowledge about emotional control. Amazing. I'm really happy about that. What is the person which I'm becoming do? How does he react? Exactly. This is the lessons that I've been giving on the previous live streams. Another thing that just came to my mind is people tend to be more judgmental online. And why is it like that? People that are judgmental online because it's very easy to say whatever is on your mind when it's anonymous. No one really knows who you are. Such kind of people will never have the courage to come and to say in your face, I think this or I think that, or express any kind of opinion. It doesn't have to be judgment. People that are, usually when judgmental people are expressing opinions, it's mostly judgments, but when such kind of people will never have the courage to stand in front of you and to tell you in the face this or that. Why? Because they don't have the courage. They're so insecure. And the fact that they are behind the screen, that they are anonymous, it gives them this fake courage or ego. It triggers this fake ego that makes them feel like they're in control, like they're really cool. They make themselves seem big by putting other people down. But I feel sorry for you if you feel that this is the way to move forward. The way to grow as a person is not by putting other people down. It's by helping other people, empowering other people, and growing together. Because if someone is better than you in something, if you are a person with an open mind and curiosity, you're not going to go and judge them. You're going to look at their steps and you're going to ask them for opinion. You're going to approach them and you're going to try to consume as much information as possible from these people. If you are unable to approach them, you will analyze their steps in details with curiosity to understand what were the things that these people did to get to this level so that I can implement some of these advices and get to their level. People with growth mindset are always thinking that way. They don't compare themselves and judge other people by thinking that they're going to be cool if they put other people down. Because guess what? People that are judging you are never in a better position than you. I can guarantee you that whenever you receive judgment, it's coming from a person that is doing worse than you. I told to Miguel yesterday, and it's interesting how we had this conversation yesterday, and all of a sudden I'm receiving this comment on YouTube, and I'm like, this is what I'm going to talk about today. It's such an interesting. It's interesting how things just get aligned. So, what was I talking about? Now I forgot. I wanted to mention something. Blackout. Let me take a sip of tea. Maybe I'll remember. It came. So I said to Miguel, a musician will never judge you for trying to write a song or create a song. An athlete will never judge you if you start going to the gym and you start working out. A businessman will never judge you for trying to start a business and to run something on your own. Only people that are going nowhere will judge you for whatever you're doing. Why? Because whatever you do triggers their insecurities because they don't have the courage to do what you're doing. As simple as that. I had a comment from a very close friend of mine. This is something that is not coming from me. It's something that I read online. It's coming from a book or a post. I can't really remember, but I remember that I shared a story about it. And I received a comment that, but a doctor will judge you if you try to heal something through holistic medicine, with teas and other natural things that can cure whatever disease you're trying to cure. an engineer will judge you for you to trying to build something, watching a YouTube video. And I was bold enough, and he's an engineer, and I'm an engineer myself. By my title is an engineer. I have a diploma of for an engineer, but I'm not an engineer, luckily. So I have nothing against doctors and engineers that are going for those professions because they truly love the profession, because they're truly interested. It's the intention that defines whether someone is doing something from a healthy place or it's something that is affected by society. So for people that are going and pursuing medicine, engineering, law, whatever, people that are pursuing such kind of careers because they truly love to study and to work with that, kudos to them. But people that are doing that just to get status because of the title, which is a very common thing, especially in third world countries. I don't know, it's not that much important and significant in more developed countries, but in third world countries, being a doctor, lawyer, or engineer, people are looking at you immediately with different eyes. So what did I I told my friend, well, I consider doctors and engineers that are judging you being in the group of the people that are not going anywhere. Why? Because such kind of people have limiting beliefs. Such kind of people are judging you because you trigger something in them. And what is the thing that you trigger in them? You dare to be different. You're not following what society is telling you, what the institution is telling you. You are just creating your own path, and they don't have the courage to do that. Doctors that don't have limiting beliefs, that have noticed that unfortunately medicine is so underpaid, engineering is so underpaid, these people are not earning enough for the effort that they're putting in and the sacrifice that they're making. So it's the institution that is in control of these people's time. It's the institution that limits them and tells them when they are supposed to show up on a shift, how many shifts they're gonna work in a row, the projects that they're supposed to deliver, etc., etc. It's the institution that controls them. They don't have full freedom, but they desire that they have full freedom. What are the doctors that don't have limiting beliefs doing nowadays? They notice that, there is an opportunity online. I'm a doctor. I have so much knowledge about medicine. Why not opening a podcast and sharing knowledge with people online? I can create another source of income, and this is not gonna limit me to just make money by me working in the hospital, and this is not gonna limit me to have to show up every single shift, because I'll have another source of income and I will have more freedom in my life. Or an engineer will start a YouTube channel and try to teach whatever they're teaching in the specific field where they have specialized. So people that don't have limiting beliefs, that have removed these limiting beliefs, they're always in creation mode, and instead of judging other people for doing something, they are always thinking of, I want this, so how can I get there? Let me become curious and let me find ways to get to the point where I want to be, instead of judging people for being where I want to be and thinking that by me judging them and putting them down in your head, but not in anyone else's head, that this is gonna help you to move forward. It's not gonna help you to move forward. You're gonna just sink more. Hey Vasil. Yeah, my lives are all the time spontaneous. I'll have to finish this one very soon though, because I don't want to miss the flight. I'll be flying whole night. Miguel is sharing the lessons that he learned from me yesterday. Another one was only consider the opinion of someone who would accept to change places. So this is something else that I told Miguel. I only accept opinion and feedback from people that I want to trade places with. What do I mean by that? If I don't want to be in the position where the person that is giving me the feedback is, I don't really consider their feedback. If you are someone who is providing feedback and you're in a position where I want to be, I will be more than curious and open to listen to your feedback, and I will even ask you questions to get more feedback. Why? Because people that are giving you feedback and criticizing you, and they're not in the position where you are, they're under you, this is just criticism. They don't have the experience and the wisdom that is going to help you to move forward. They will just give you their limiting beliefs to limit you. So why would you let other people to limit you with their own fears? Let them keep their own fears for themselves, and you just focus on yourself. And look at the people that are ahead of you. Look at those people and try to seek feedback from them. Don't seek feedback from people that are not at your place and below you. Believes by looking at the guy. If simple person believes by looking at the guy inside a car and tells, hey, this guy is so lucky, what a lie. They never saw the nice car guy hard overworking when nobody else gave a thought. Yes, so this is again coming from people that have financial struggles and that are lazy. It's much easier to say someone is lucky, that's why they're making money, because this is a good excuse for their ego. So they just say to their ego, this is out of my control. They were just lucky and that's why they're doing well in life. I was not lucky. I'm not a son of or a daughter of Beyonce and Jay-Z or Elon Musk or whoever, even though it doesn't mean that these people are lucky, but just because they're sons and daughters of people that are rich and have a lot of money. These people are lucky in other things that I talked about in previous videos, but no one is lucky. We create our own luck. We create everything that we are living in. So whenever someone is trying to find an excuse for something, just know that this is a person that doesn't want to take responsibility. It's a person who is lazy, or a person who has not trained their courage and they're not brave enough to take steps to get out of their comfort zone so that they can change their lives. Okay, so it was an interesting life. I'll have to wrap it up. Yeah, quantum physics. Well, we talked about quantum physics as well, but this is this is more for if I go deep into quantum physics now, I'm gonna need 1 more hour. Quantum physics works. It's all correlated, because people that are judging, people that have limiting beliefs and that have this limited mindset are people that are at low frequency. And people that are that have this growth mindset, that are receptive to feedback, they have better relationships, they have more understanding towards other people, they thrive more in their life, and that's why their frequency is higher. Their frequency is raising up. And when your frequency is high, guess what? Abundance. That's where abundance is. And that's how you can use quantum physics to attract things to you, to attract your opportunities, to attract your possibilities. And let me turn on the light because it's getting too dark. And I want to give you an example about Miguel, what he did and how his life changed in 3 days. Give me a second. Whoops. So Miguel is a guy who, let me see if I can turn on one more light, or it's okay. Should be fine. So Miguel that you see in the chat is an 18-year-old guy who came to the event that we hosted on Saturday, and he was brave enough to make the most creative job application that I've ever seen in my life. And I saw from the first moment how unique this person was. He approached me, we started talking, and I saw my 18-year-old self in his eyes. And when I saw him, I just knew, I just felt the energy, and I just wanted to know more about him. So that's how we ended up going out yesterday for a walk, for a dinner, and we had an incredible long conversation. And I'm so excited about his future. I said so many times to him and to other people that met him that I'm as excited about his future as I'm excited about my own. Because this is a real example of a person who is implementing knowledge. So he told me that when I was talking about creation mode on one of the webinars that were held together with Peep Farm, in collaboration with Peep Farm, he told me that once he learned about creation mode, this made a huge shift in his mind and how he was looking at things. So the advice that I gave on this webinar, he directly implemented it. He started activating this creation mode to think creatively and to do things differently. And what happened, he approached us on Saturday, and today is Tuesday, right? I think it's Tuesday. Yeah, today is Tuesday. He already got 2 jobs, one from Peep Farm, one from me. He will earn much, much more than he was earning from the job that he hated. So this is a perfect example for a person who has this growth mindset and who has potential. And I told him, I'm going to be with you. We're going to record this journey, because I didn't record mine from the beginning, and I wish I did. But now we have a chance to record his full journey, and I will be more than happy to guide him and to show to the world what is possible. He is coming also from a place that is a very small town, a primitive town like my hometown. We were talking about so many things. We shared about similar stories. He was selling water bottles at the beach when he was 14 years old. And I was selling cosmetics when I was 15 years old. This was my first business. And when we started talking about our life stories, it was just mind-blowing how many things are aligning and how much we have in common. So this is quantum physics. This is quantum leaping. This is raising your frequency and just attracting abundance. Perfect example is Miguel. He can record a video and share about it. And I'm so grateful for the universe to send me such kind of person. I'm really grateful for our connection, because I'm so excited about everything that we're about to build together. Okay. Thank you so much to everyone who joined on this live stream. If you're watching this video after the live stream, let me know actually in the comments what is the most ridiculous judgment that you have received in your life. I'm really curious to read. I would be really curious to read them. Why? Because from every single judgment that I receive, I can directly spot the hidden insecurity or lack of knowledge behind it. I can directly reveal what this person is struggling with. So it's going to be really interesting to hear the most ridiculous judgments that you have received in your life. And I hope that you got lots of insights and knowledge from this live stream, from this video, so that you can understand how you can work with yourself, how you can work with things that are triggering you when someone is judging you. So remember, whenever you receive judgment from someone and it triggers you, this just means that you have internal work to do with yourself. This just means that you have to go inward, reflect on, and try to understand what is the belief that has been triggered. How is my ego threatened? And what are the things that I have to shift and change so that I can change my limiting belief to a belief that can help me grow and become limitless. And if you're interested in digging deeper, make sure to check the link in the description and sign up for my course. Okay, love you so much. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you soon again.